Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 21 of Changeling the Lost, Viva Lost Vegas. Thank you for coming out. Just before we get started, a couple of announcements as per usual. I've mentioned it a couple times, but the Trinity Continuum Aegis crowdfunding campaign is up on BackerKit. If you would like more information, the link will be in chat momentarily. And as always, Onyx Path Game Night is the last Friday of the month, which this month is the 28th. So if that's something that you're interested in, remember to check that out. So, last session was one of the dreaded two-parters. So, as such, nobody had any time to do anything during their downtime. We left off with the Motley infiltrating a secret facility under a grocery store warehouse owned by Cotton International, with teams going in from the Iron side and the Hedge side. They have found CEO and Fetch Rupert Cotton with the Sister Mary Manson, the traitor that the group was hunting. And on the Hedge side, the loyalist Rattlebones with a dozen Briarwolves at his heel. So that's where we're opening up tonight.
So, when we were stepping into this, we thought we were going to be ambushing the group that was escaping from the Iron side, and found out that there's an even bigger force on this side. And it's more people than we have. And I don't know if we can do this, guys. I don't know if we can kill them. We've been talking about this, and I can't think of a way we can pull this off. So I guess the question is, how do we do the maximum amount of damage on our way out and make sure we can get our people clear?
Firebombs?
I was thinking firebombs and run for the exits, or... Wait, you're not with us. You're with the away team at the other end, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah.
So I can't benefit from your invisibility. Otherwise, I could wall up the pit and not give them a good way out of here.
As I remember, Kit and Kinsey were under the warehouse on the Iron side of the Hedge, and Elliot and the home team had opened a hedge gate in the truck gate of the warehouse, which revealed Rattlebones and the group of Briarwolves. Is that correct?
So originally I was up on the sniper's point, and when Elliot went into action, I joined him.
So he's up there with me. It's Kenzie and our two stealth people who are down at the door to the enemy hideout thingy. But we never got them in, and they're about to be heading out through the exit, and there is a just enormous force here.
Yeah.
And it's summer, is the other thing we realized. If we swing, we can't leave.
That is true. You would be bound by the summer bargain to stay until
One or both
the
of us
battle
was
was,
dead.
yeah, until the battle was over. Not necessarily dead, just out of the fight.
I don't think we can get everybody out of this. I wasn't expecting this much reinforcements on this side.
So what I'm thinking is that we need to pull out and sabotage things on the iron side.
So here's my thoughts. Gizmo hacks this thing and clears the database, fries whatever he can. We firebomb the warehouse.
Thanks, Void, for the cheers. Yeah.
I don't think that we can reasonably fight these guys, and if they swing at us... Thank you. Thank you, Void. So... I think we have to take the L on this one, guys. There's not really an answer. We've gotten a lot out of this run, but there's no getting her out of here.
So it's going to be a victory because we have the information from their databanks and server and stuff like that. It's just not the victory we were initially looking for.
Okay.
So let's go ahead, back out, destroy what we can, and trap everything else.
Okay. First order of business. Gizmo! You're already in the system. I need you to do as much damage as you are physically capable of causing.
All right, so I just want to ask, before we move forward, are you committed to the plan of action of a retreat?
I
Yes.
think we have to. With the summer bargain in place, we can't... I can't commit all of these people to dying. I don't have that authority, and I don't have the confidence that we will necessarily win. Especially if the other huntsmen show up, which could very well happen. Very
To be
easily.
fair, none of the huntsmen are here. Just Rattlebones and a dozen Briarwolves.
Yes, but he has the authority to call them.
That is absolutely true, yes. Okay, so you wanted a Gizmo to hack then?
Yes. I want to do as much damage as we can here and then try and put together what information we can. If we can at least render this to chaos, we'll have done something.
Do you still have his character sheet? Since you were commanding the home team, I was letting you make the rolls for them.
Yep. Would you like me to keep doing that?
For now. In this case, Gizmo's going to need an intelligence plus computers roll.
Okay. Will you accept hacking on this one?
Naturally.
All right. So there we go. That's 3 successes for Gizmo.
Alrighty. Gizmo starts coding at his computer. He looks up at Elliot and says, "So, do you want me to just wipe everything clean and do as much damage as I can, or do you want me to do anything else while I'm in here?"
Spider.
If you could save some of that footage of, what's her name? Sister Mary being hauled through in iron, I might have use of that later. That's the only other thing I need.
Maybe have him implement a network sniffer or something like that, so we can get an idea of
where this place is connected to.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was completely out of character, by the way.
So, while Gizmo's working on this, because if it's going to be that much things you want him to do, I'm going to need you to make this into an extended roll.
Okay.
Let's say 10 successes over 4 rounds, 1 minute each.
Are we counting that previous roll?
Yeah, let's count that as 3 successes.
So we need 7 more over 3 rolls. Okay. We can do this. 5, we're on track. And clear.
All right. While we're dealing with this, since this is going to take Gizmo a total of 4 minutes, let's go back to the other side of this equation. Kinsey, Kelly, and who else was in here with them?
Kenzie,
Lucerne.
Kelly, and Lucerne are together on the inside. They're outside the door to the secret lab that connects the secret lab to the warehouse.
Okay. So, Kinsey, what do you and your team want to do?
I need you to go take out the sprinkler system.
Okay, I can do that. Take out as in...
Sabotage. Prevent it from going off, because we're going to be burning this place down. There's going to be like a water tank somewhere with some valves on it. I need you to bust them so the water can't get to the sprinklers.
Okay, perfect. I do so. I'm gonna head up and find the water shut-off valve.
Alrighty. I'm not going to need you to roll anything for that. That's going to be relatively simple. A few minutes of poking around with the others helping, and you are able to find the maintenance closet in the warehouse that has the shut-off valve, along with things like the breaker box.
Once you're done with that, go knock over any fuel or oil stores in the garage and get out of there.
Let's see. Depending on what you want to do here, the roll you're going to need to make is going to vary. You're in this maintenance closet with the plumbing and electrical equipment in it. Tell me what your next step is.
My next step is to look for any large barrels of like oil or gasoline or anything that they would have sitting around.
This is a place a bunch of trucks are going through. Them having some basic car supplies somewhere in the garage isn't unreasonable.
Okay, that I'm going to need you to make a roll for. So if you're trying to scrounge up some sort of firebomb for this room, give me a wits plus, let's say, crafts or academics check.
Well, let's see. You've got Lucerne and Kelly with you.
They can assist, yes.
It's a very good thing I bought a dot in academics.
Yes, it is.
So I guess during their downtime, everyone hit Wikipedia.
I finally learned how to read.
Got real tired of failing all these academics roles.
You know, people say bad things about Hooked on Phonics, but it worked for me.
All
Okay,
right.
so they're assisting, correct?
They absolutely can. So this is wits plus academics, you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or wits plus crafts, whichever one Lexi prefers.
So I've got a grand total of 1 die I can roll towards you for that. Lucerne has 4 wits and 0 academics, which gives them a straightforward die of 1. So we're going to have them spend a willpower to give you 4. And we're going to get 3 out of our friend Kelly Crinoline by the same method. So that's a grand total of 3 dice for you.
All right, that's a +3, not half bad. All
You
right.
got 1 success.
After Kinsey heard the plan of setting the place on fire, well, you don't have to be a genius to know how to go about that. Kinsey's able to find emergency stocks of gasoline and oil for the delivery trucks in some of the other maintenance areas.
All right.
And what are you going to do with them? You've already made your rolls, so just tell us.
I'm just tipping them over, letting them spread as far as they can.
Over by the groceries and other big flammable objects.
Okay. Alrighty. So is that it for your preparations on your end?
Kinsey, remember that we have the hammer space. There's a bunch of stuff that in there that might be useful for you, like I don't know, gunpowder, fuses, blasting caps, batteries, Drano, all kinds of stuff.
Perfect. And I grabbed some gunpowder from the hammer space and sprinkled that about like it's catnip.
On your
I'm not sure if it worked that way, but sure. I'm not going to do any physics research right now to figure it out.
It'll burn at least, and as long as the fire spreads, we'll do a lot of damage. All I want them to do is not be in a position to follow us.
Based on the fact that I don't feel like doing physics research, I will say that that makes sense.
All right. So I call a retreat with everyone after we've seen what's waiting for us on the other side of the portal. And once Gizmo is done doing what he's doing and we've got these two all clear, I have access to the hammer space through any number of ways, but the duffel bag I'm carrying with me feels like an appropriate one. There are bottles of alcohol, rags, and I'm assuming you put matches or a lighter in there somewhere.
Both.
And we're going to provide ignition to the warehouse.
There's also some blow torches in there too.
Yeah, but I'm not throwing one of those.
Oh, I would like to state categorically that I get out of there.
Well, yes, I was waiting until you were clear.
All right, so you're going to take your team and leave?
Yes.
All righty. And how are you setting off this trap? And are you going to do it now and start running, or what?
So, I actually have a really great plan for this. I am spending a glamour. I am using Riddlekith to Riddlekith into a Telluric. The Telluric ability is to wield the power of a falling star. For 1 additional glamour point, I can throw a ball of star flame as a ranged attack using dexterity and athletics. The fire is torch-sized and has the heat of a candle.
That's hilarious. By all means.
I understand that you were probably looking at your own Kith blessing and got the idea from there.
Yep.
I honestly love this. Please, light him up.
Are any rolls required for Riddlekith?
Not that I'm aware of, but let me just double check.
He is a little...
Dice pool, manipulation plus larceny plus weird versus composure plus weird. Well, in this case, it's not versus anything because you're doing it to yourself. So room manipulation plus larceny plus weird, please.
One success.
Well, one success is a success, which is our motto around here. Please describe the change in appearance for me and how you did it.
So typically Kenzie looks like a two-dimensional shadow with bright burning eyes. But she steps out into the light underneath the stars, and suddenly she becomes even darker. It's like she's reflecting the stars above. And all of a sudden, it's like she can pluck stars from the sky. So she's pretty much the same, but she's now three-dimensional, visible, and looks like the night sky.
So you got little star patterns glowing from within you. That's awesome.
All right. And if anyone likes the idea of the telluric kith, that is in Kith and Kin, page 120. All right. And the ball of fire is a dexterity plus athletics check from what I'm seeing here.
I used a willpower, and I have 3 successes.
Oh, that's a success. Well, magic or not, a ball of fire in a pool of oil that's had gunpowder sprinkled in it for extra crunchiness is going to set it alight. And set it alight it does. The group of nobles and knights and other acquaintances look to the motley for their orders as the warehouse attached to the grocery store immediately ignites.
We've done everything we can here. We got a lot of information, and we've figured out what happened. There was no way to rescue or capture any of the major individuals involved without risking too many lives. Circle back, get at home safely. Thank you all for all of your help tonight.
No one argues. The group immediately breaks up and just starts going their own ways, whether that involves driving or running.
Gizmo, I need you to come with me. Penelope, Emmett, would you guys follow us? We have some follow-up to do after this.
Penelope folds her arms and gives the burning warehouse one last steely look. Okay, that makes sense. Guys, we're leaving. All right, and Elliot, could I ask you to make me a chance roll, please?
Of course. Success.
Did you remember to close the hedge gate? Because I do not remember you mentioning that.
I did say we bailed out and I closed it behind me.
Well, this was your lucky day. You rolled well on that roll. So whether or not you said that or not, I'm going to count it as you did it. Yes. So Rattlebones never noticed that hedge gate.
Well, they're going to eventually have figured out we were here, but there's not much we can do about that, and we have disrupted them as much as we can. Fighting that fire at the minimum should keep them busy while we're getting this sorted. There was no way to stop anything else that was happening here. Not with the summer bargain on.
Yeah, okay, no, I can't do that. Okay. Yeah, no. Before we go, were there any cars or anything like that parked around here?
They'd be in the parking lot around the front.
Any of them look like they belong to Cotton Security or Cotton whatever?
We'll be pulling around, we can see as we're leaving.
All right, give me a chance roll in that case.
All right, I guess it's my turn to roll then. That's a failure.
No, none of the cars look to be especially fancy. Granted, that might be intentional camouflage. The only way to know would be to start breaking into them.
Okay. Before we fully dip out, can we just take a moment to, I don't know, do something to impair their movement?
I reach into my pocket and pull out the Molotov cocktail I'd prepped a couple of minutes ago, which turned out to be less necessary than I thought. And I throw it into the middle of, the arrangement of cars. That work for you?
Yeah, that'll work.
Dex plus athletics, or is this good enough?
Give me a Dex plus athletics. We'll see how well you how many you hit.
Okay. For once, my talents coming in handy. Alrighty.
What do you mean for once?
All right. 2 successes.
All right. It's not perfectly in the middle of the parking lot, but you get a good view of the cars. There'll be far less people able to follow. Speaking of, Kenzie, you're the only one who hasn't made a chance die roll yet. So give me one, please. I enjoy them. They make me happy.
Just putting this out there that I am okay not doing a chance die roll.
I just said I enjoy them and they make me happy. Please roll.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of impairing the ability of anyone to follow you, at this point, you hear a fire alarm going off, and Kinsey sees some of the night shift workers, like the folks who would be cleaning, running out of the grocery store attached to the warehouse. One of them points over your way.
And we're out of here.
Kenny, I would like to riddle kiss myself back to my own kiss.
All right. Let's see here. I'm looking to see the duration.
I'm a darkling, so I believe it's permanent until I pay to get it back.
Yeah, it doesn't say a duration, so I am assuming it's permanent, yeah.
3 successes to shift back to Bequero.
Congratulations. All right. The sound of the fire alarm as the 6 of you, pull out of the parking lot and leave is joined by police sirens in the distance.
All right. So, I pick up my phone and I call my accountant.
All right, so a call to Luke Exodus.
Yep.
All right, he picks up the phone. Good evening to you, Mr. McCoy. I trust to be calling so late, you have a good reason?
I have quite possibly the most important job I have ever asked somebody to do. What would it take to have your complete attention for the rest of the evening?
Money.
I can make that happen.
Then I believe we have a deal.
Where are you, and how soon can you be ready for company?
To my place, you say?
Or wherever you'd like to be.
Gives you an address.
All right. So, I'm afraid we're going to need to get out of this car, from the sounds of it. We got spotted on the way out of here, and there are cops coming. Or do you want me to try and lose him?
Does Winter Court have a protocol for this?
Last time Kinsey was able to get people to pick up a car that they ditched.
Well, Kenzie, could you make some phone calls? I'm gonna find
Yes.
I'm gonna find somewhere that looks like it might have a mirror inside. Find a gas station that looks like it has a bathroom.
Okay, so I call for a follow car.
Alrighty. So, if you're looking for a place to dump it that would have a mirror around, give me a. Let's see here. What's plus streetwise roll?
Who's got Streetwise?
I do.
All right. I'll be supporting you then because I can roll 10 to support.
Kenny, I'd like to call on my specialization for streetwise or hidden places as well, because we are looking for something that is slightly more remote.
That makes sense to me. This will be an opposed roll to see if the cops get here quicker than you can find a place.
All right. Going to redo that with a willpower. Okay, that's just not happening. 2 dice for you, Lex. You got any streetwise tips?
Oop. Why would a country boy have streetwise?
Fair enough.
3 successes.
All right.
Damn, it's too bad I changed that to Telerik.
All right.
One.
Kinsey spots a small rundown gas station 4 or 5 blocks north of where they started out. The police sirens behind are getting awfully close, but no one is in visual distance just yet. So this gas station is small and pretty run down. It looks like it is in operation, but appears, let's see, to be open at the moment. There's no one in the parking lot and no one actively getting gas, but you can see the light on through the doors and what appears to be a bored teenage clerk somewhere behind the counter. She does not appear to be paying attention.
Okay.
I shuffle inside doing the walk of every person who's ever had to pee in their entire life.
I go up and I distract the employee while everyone makes their way to the bathroom, so nobody questions why 6 people are loading into one bathroom.
Okay.
I'll purchase a thing of cigarettes and hold an animated conversation. How about?
All right. Go on.
Would you accept presence plus socialize? Maybe subterfuge?
Presence plus socialize would be what I would want in this case anyway.
All right. Socialize it is. Okay. No.
Do you want to make that a dramatic failure?
Willpower. God damn it, I'm the talk boy. I have to do the talking.
All right. So, set the scene for us. What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm going in before everyone else in a hurry to get this guy's attention, and I am going to, without being so obvious that I'm doing so, being incredibly vague about which pack of cigarettes I want from behind the counter, making him spend a significant amount of time staring at the back wall instead of seeing everybody file past me and load into the bathroom.
So, the clerk behind the counter looks up from her phone and gives Elliot a 1,000-yard stare as he begins his long, convoluted order for cigarettes. She vaguely chews on some gum and doesn't notice at all as Kinsey shuffles past, followed by Penelope, Emmett, and Gizmo. Kit, are you going along with them, or are you doing something else?
We're getting out of the situation here, so I'm going along with this.
All right.
We need to break the chain of custody. We gotta.
Elliot keeps the conversation going until the Kit is through the bathroom door.
All right. Thanks. I take the cigarettes and I head for the bathroom.
All right. As Elliot heads into the bathroom, the police sirens can be heard out front as well as the stopping of a car. The gas station bathroom is fairly nice and clean considering the front and the rundown exterior. However, this place was absolutely not meant to house this many people, and it is currently standing room only in this room. There is a toilet, a sink, a mirror over that sink, a plunger, and a hand dryer with a post-it note on it that says, "Out of order, sorry for the inconvenience."
I'm afraid this is your show, my dude.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the mirror walk. Need a sec to pull the details of that. Page 147 of the main book. At least I think that's what it was. I'm so sorry. Give me a second here. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry. Give me just a moment to find the dice pool. I had it jotted down the page number in my character sheet, so I wouldn't
146,
do that.
147. You need wits plus survival plus weird.
I'm on.
Yep, there it is, 146.
Okay.
And it costs 1 glamour plus 1 willpower.
Yep. Wits plus survival, so that is 4 plus 4 plus 1, so that's 9. That's weird. Weird was last thing on, right? Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Wits plus survival plus weird.
Hi, Rose.
Hey, how's it going? Alrighty. So that's going to be 3 successes, which is not an exceptional success, but that means that I can pull as many people as I want through with me as long as we have an unbroken chain.
Well, we're close enough. Everybody grab a hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me an order because this is going to be vaguely important.
I'm gonna put myself at the end of the chain. Let's make sure Gizmo is one of the first.
And I have to be the first.
So,
So probably Kit, Gizmo,
Penelope, Emmett, Kenzie, me.
Yeah.
We 2 are probably the most survivable if we get stuck back here. And I'm honestly don't want to be responsible for one of these guys getting hurt.
All right. So, as you start filing into the mirror, this being a small mirror, it takes a bit to climb in while also keeping your hands clasped in a chain. You begin to hear conversation from the front.
My free hand reaches out and locks the door to the bathroom.
All right. In one round, Kit and Gizmo are able to get in. You hear footsteps outside the bathroom door, and the door shakes as someone attempts to open it. You hear a voice yell, "Open up!" 2 more people go through, leaving Kinsey and Elliot the last in here. You hear something heavy hitting the door. Once, twice, 3 times. And suddenly, 2 cops are in the room, guns held out, right as Elliot climbs into the mirror.
Okay. Well, I suppose I as soon as he's through, I close it on the mirror side and make our way to the freehold.
The 2 cops stare on, their mouths agape at what they see. One blindly fires a shot into the wall as the mirror closes. All right. So the group is heading back to the Four Seasons.
Yep.
All right. I'm not going to make you a hedge navigate for that. After 20 minutes or so of navigating through the hedge, the group arrives back out front of the Four Seasons on the mortal side.
Okay. I'm gonna call a pair of cabs and get us taken over to Luke's place. So, Gizmo, what do you need to decode that stuff that you pulled off that hard drive?
On the ride over, the conversation begins. Gizmo scratches at his pink animal-like nose, his fur standing on end still from the adrenaline. Well, we're looking at some pretty hardcore encryption. I was able to copy the database and the files on it, but it's going to take some real know-how to get through it all.
Well, here's the thing. What we have here is an existential threat to the entire freehold. I am a spring noble, and I am going to start making phone calls. I need to know what you need, and I will make it happen for you.
He gives you a list of equipment from his hollow at the trailer park and asks for it to be brought over.
All right. I turn to Kit and say, could you get in touch with one of our Autumn friends and see if they can make that happen? I know somebody's got a spare key over there.
Yeah, I'll make some calls.
Kenzie, we're heading into a winter place, and as much as Gizmo is obviously the man I know and the man I trust, I can't imagine there are no computer people working for Winter in a modern crime family. Could we ask if we could get some extra hands to go through this?
Kenny, I have Winter Court Mantle 5. Do I know anyone?
Let's see. Bear with me a moment.
I'm sure that you could call one of your fellow knights and see if they could get you in touch with somebody. If need be, I'll call Will himself and ask for a favor. I am prepared to cash checks tonight because tomorrow only comes if we make it.
Well, roll me your mantle. Like, this isn't exactly what the mantle was for, but since the mantle does represent your standing within the court, I think it makes sense.
I willpower and roll again.
If you have the willpower for it.
One success.
All right, let's see here. Okay. So Kinsey is able to get on the phone with various winter knights and courtiers and get a handful of computer specialists sent over to Luke's condominium. The condominium itself is in the north of Las Vegas, near Nellis Air Force Base, a few blocks north of the Winter Court area where Kinsey had dropped off the car, in a place called the Craigmont Villas.
Okay.
By the time the group arrives, there's a handful of winter and autumn courtiers there, carrying various equipment and getting set up. Luke Exodus is sitting outside, looking rather cross. He's changed into something at least vaguely businessy, although he's still wearing his sweats, and he's sitting on there smoking as particularly agitated locusts crawl out of his ears and fly away.
I am very sorry, but I promise you, when I've had a chance to explain, you will understand the amount of insane insane choices that I have made this evening. But I'm going to start with this one to at least make sure you'll listen to the rest. I reach into my pocket and pull out a wad of cash, equivalent to me doing my 1 monthly purchase for whatchamacallit, 3 dots of resources, which is what I've got.
All right. In that case, you might want to mark that down. It's September 20th, so you won't be able to do something like that again until October 20th.
I know, but this is what I gotta do, and this guy needs to be happy. Because I need this man's full, undivided attention. Okay, so we have just gotten our hands on the entire database of the the
Cotton Security.
Cotton Security and Cotton Enterprise, and among other things we've seen this evening, they've made an artificial hedge gate. We need to know everything we can tonight, and you're the person who's going to be able to take apart the financial documents we've secured and anything else we pull out of this thing tonight. I need to know everything I can because tomorrow morning I'm going to be presenting my findings to the Royals to explain how we're going to deal with this as existential threat. Yep, for an all-nighter? I'll send some boys out for coffee.
Luke takes the wad of cash and turns around and says, well, what are you waiting for? Come on in, everybody. His condo is surprisingly neat and nice on the inside, very minimalist, very Spartan, incredibly well taken care of and very, very clean. He grimaces as the group walks in and the winter and autumn tortures set up Gizmo's equipment. So, he says, drawing out what other chairs he can find from the kitchen into the living room to accommodate everyone. What was so important that required pulling me out of bed, desecrating my condo, and paying well more than you can afford for my time?
Well, to start us off, I'm in possession of the real and fake financial records for Sister Mary Magdalene's church, including a large donation.
Manson.
Sister Mary Manson's church, including a enormous donation from Cotton Enterprises shell company. God, what was it called?
Whitney Religious Association.
Whitney Religious Association. That's the opening numbers, and I expect I'm going to have a bunch more documents for you moments after that. Just these boys are going to be prying them loose from the entire database we stole not 30 minutes ago from there. These people had an artificial hedge gate made by non-magical humans and connected to the hedge.
Well now, he says, raising an eyebrow, did you actually see this in action?
We were not able to stay long enough, but Rattlebones was waiting on the other side.
A whistle escapes through his teeth. This sounds important.
It is.
Okay, well, let's make sure you get your money's worth.
Also, you forgot to mention that the head of this company is MyFetch, who has been without the knowledge of the others, has been gathering fetches under his umbrella.
I need to know as much as I can because tomorrow morning I'm going to be standing in front of everybody I can get into a room that's as important as me or higher. And I'm going to be trying to convince them to commit as many resources as we can to dealing with this. And the more answers and the more knowledge I have, the better a job we're going to be able to do to keep ourselves safe. This money doesn't mean anything to me compared to that. Shall I send someone out for coffee?
So, I'm not going to need to make you make any rolls for NPCs anymore. But I do want to go ahead and ask. Do you three feel there's anything you can do to contribute in this the area? Or should I fast forward until there are results?
I can throw an inspired out here if that would be helpful.
I mean,
so good.
We've got a small crowd of nerds. It'd be at a -3, I think, for this big a group, but like between them, it should at least help with the situation.
Kinsey, Kit, what say you?
Honestly, I think that the most that I would be able to do would be to keep them fed, keep their energy up. That's about it.
The reason we got specialists is because this is two things we're incredibly shit at: computers and understanding the written word.
All I have that could possibly help is common sense.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on then.
Everyone enjoy an inspired, and we'll just assume that helped.
Elliot gives the tech team a condensed lecture based on what he told Luke regarding the importance of this information. And they begin looking into it. The first things they're able to pull out are the sort of things that would be of interest to Luke. Lots and lots of financial information. Luke begins looking through that information and cross-referencing it with the ledgers that Elliot brought in from Sister Mary Manson's church. The letters of correspondence between himself, between Rupert and Barry, also come up. Rupert was keeping tabs on this conversation himself as well.
Okay.
Under more serious a lock and key, there are some technical blueprints for the hedge gate, and it does appear to be exactly that. Rupert has left some notes in here stating that while he can open a hedge gate, he doesn't have the capacity to hold very much power, as his magical power is locked to hits, and he considers the use of it to open a hedge gate to be a emergencies only thing. While none of you, including Gizmo, are quite able to make heads or tails of it, it does look like Cotton International has more than just high technology on their side. under the most extreme lock and key, however, seems to be Rupert's own personal records. It takes a while, but Gizmo is able to get in. There is one catch. While the records are decrypted, in order to get full access, there needs to be a passcode, which, with a little bit of extra work, Gizmo mentions requires a retinal scan.
Can we try my scan?
Well, you said he was your fetch, right? Asked Gizmo.
Yeah.
Well, it might still be similar enough considering how long he's been aging, so it's worth a shot.
And what happens if it fails?
Well, this is a local copy of the database, so probably nothing.
Huh?
If that doesn't work, I have a backup idea.
Huh? Let's give it a try. If it's not going to hurt anything.
Alrighty.
Make sure to do this without an internet connection.
Gizmo gives you a look as if you've just asked him to make sure that he's wearing pants.
My apologies. Man, I'm feeling helpless here. I'm doing what little knowledge I got.
All right. With retinal scan, success. We're able to get inside.
Okay.
Gizmo whistles through his teeth and says, there's a lot of information here. Most of it appears to be medical reports. He starts paging through them. Your fetch is not a well man, Kit.
Okay.
How old would you be right now if you'd never been taken?
What year is it?
2023.
3. Uh, 126.
That's well outside of the normal human lifespan. He pages through. Oh, and I think I've got some hints as to why. He opens up a file and starts reading it aloud. I know that he'll come back someday, but for now, I need to worry about keeping myself alive. Changing faces and identities by taking over my adopted sons has been working, but that's only cosmetic. Inside, I continue to age at the same age as he would be. But there is hope. I've spoken with an agent of my creator who has given me some important information. This is the sort of occult information that I haven't been able to glean in almost a century of research. I must seek out my own kind. There are more like me, and they can be used. A few pages down a little further. So that looks like it's about 10 years ago.
Used.
He pages forward and starts reading again. The operation is ongoing. My staff are accustomed to the cloak and dagger of the corporate world. They will not speak. I do not have to worry about betrayal from that end. However, it does, it has been more difficult than I believed to engage with others of my kind. I found that the Changeling freehold here hunts us. Not a surprise. I assumed that that would be something that I would have to face. But luckily, it seems that their hunters are opportunistic. The creation of Operation Zophiel for my inner circle has been a rousing success. Our men were not at all surprised by the lies I fed them about cloning and genetic manipulation. Apparently, most of my employees have thought that I would be working on some sort of way to cheat death. So this information actually seemed to make them feel more relieved to find out that Rupert Cotton is in fact human and does fear death. If only they knew. He pages through a few more lines. I've found the key. I have been able to get some of my kind, other fetches, to work with me, but it has been expensive. No matter, because having any of the fetches of Las Vegas on my side has given me access to the resource that I need the most. The fetches who would not play along. I have several held in the facility right now. We will soon find out if my wooden guardian angel is telling the truth. Gizmo continues to page down. The first procedure was a success. As I look at the pile of dust and dry leaves on the operating table, I wonder that these were ever a part of me. But I feel younger, stronger. And, dare I say it, more capable. I feel the rush of power. This is going to take more experimentation. He pages through. The project has hit a snag. Operation Zophiel has been able to get a network of fetches that that are willing to work with me. These employees serve their dual purposes as both shield and sword. But the other fetches of Las Vegas, those who do not have the sort of contacts that make them useful to me, have noted the disappearances among their fellows. This is going to make things even more difficult. Luckily, I have a new subject for transplantation. The procedure will begin shortly, as soon as some of our people are able to subdue her. She has taken several doses of tranquilizers and is still shouting obscenities in her cage. We shall see how much longer she can hold out. He pages down. This is later that night. The red-haired fetch escaped, the only one who's been able to manage it. It was tough. I can feel my body failing. Luckily, we were able to call in one of the Operation Zophiel fetches, the one who I was using to keep tabs on his changeling, the lion-like king of summer. He is being broken down as we speak. He was useful, and I regret that this had to be done. But I will not face death, either in the form of my changeling or in the form of old age. Gizmo keeps looking through here. This is much more recent.
Fuck, guys.
I've been speaking with my guardian angel. He tells me that there are things that I can do that will keep body and soul together longer. The transplantation process has been a boon to me over the past decade. But I've been finding it more and more difficult to procure fetches. After the one red-haired woman escaped, she spoke to the other outsider fetches of Las Vegas. They seem to have formed their own sort of loose organization, as much as you can say a pack of homeless people and degenerates can. Regardless, my Operation Zophiel fetches have been less and less able to procure new fetches, and I'm sure they will notice if I take more than a few of those. But Oliver Oakenhart says that he can make sure I have at least one more year of life without the transplantation procedure. And all he needs is one of the seasonal monarchs of the Changeling Freehold. I believe that we recently got hold of someone in spring. She will be of use. He whistles through his teeth again and says, didn't like a month before you guys show up, didn't spring lose its monarch?
Yeah.
He pages down a few more pages. One of the nobles, Sister Mary, was able to lure her king to my warehouse. Excellent. The prototype hedge gate is a success. While I can open one if needs be, I find it very difficult to harvest glamour while remaining safe. The design our R&D department came up with is ingenious. If I wish to replicate more taxing powers, I would need a better site. But here, beneath a grocery store, where the low-level frustrations and low-level joys of everyday life are played out, our machinery is able to harvest glamour steadily and surely. I'm told that I can open the gate at least twice a month. The deal was successful. Oakenheart gave me a year of life in return for the monarch. He stated that he's willing to repeat this deal if I can get my hands on more. I'll need to think about it. It was difficult and risky to do this once. I'm not sure that I'll be able to pull it off again. Oh, and here's next. Gizmo looks over at Kit and reads off on the words on the screen. It's finally happened. He's back. And he's brought new changelings in tow. I must consider them all threats. The remaining changelings from the remaining fetches of Operation Zophiel, those who have not been repurposed for the transplantation process, have been informed. They will be doing what they can to observe the changeling community and keep an eye on the false Kit Cotton. He must not be allowed to know of me. We must do our best to keep it a secret. If he finds out, he's sure to want what I've built. While he may have been born under the name Kit Cotton, I am the one who made it into the global powerhouse, the historically recognized name that it is today. He will want what I've created, and he cannot have it. Luckily, it seems one of the more recent acquisitions for Operation Zophiel is the fetch of one of his motley. This is perfect. I can use him to lure in Kit's motley mate. Perhaps this man will be able to listen to reason. Perhaps not. I've had to put a backup plan of mine into active operation with this information. I know what my associate Oakenheart truly wants, because he will not shut up about it. He sits and whittles away at his fingers and legs, talking about making himself better and better so he can come into his kingdom and become a true Fae. But he has no idea of how to get his hands on a title. He seems to be dead set on stealing one from my progenitor. If he can steal one from the Lord of Tales, that shall work. I'm going to need to have some occult research done. I understand that the true Fae that created me is not especially powerful as true Fae go, but they must have some sort of weakness, some way to divest them of their titles. If I can find that information, Rattlebones will be mine. And the most recent one, just about a week and a half ago. I've done it. I know what Oakenheart can do to get his hands on one of his father's titles. My research has come to the conclusion that the true Fae are very much like the changelings they create, creatures of promises, of contracts and pledges, in a far more literal sense. Their titles are gained through complex oaths sworn to basic concepts of reality, the time, the sky. Based on his current favorite titles, likely stories, or even perhaps the concept of writing. But I was able to do some research and find that he has one of his titles that has a very glaring weakness. I've been doing some research on what Oakenheart told me regarding the entity that he calls the Grim Hunter. I've found notes of a true Fae by that name from at least 50 years ago, the last time it was seen. I have accounts of it going back at least 200 years. And one of the most interesting facts I found in that research is that the Grim Hunter, when it was a true Fae, was very particular about the clergy and houses of worship. It seems he would not enter a church uninvited and was always extremely respectful to clergy. Interesting, but not quite what I was looking for until... Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Until the last tale. The last account, when it was hunting in northern Nevada in the 60s, mentions an escaped changeling who had fled into a convent while the Grim Hunter would not follow her inside, he did have one of his minions set light to the place. The Changeling and the nuns were forced to come out. And there, the Grim Hunter lined up his shot. And he would have succeeded had this Changeling not had the foresight to hide behind one of the nuns. She was shot, and before she fell to the ground dead, the Grim Hunter seemed to evaporate in a cloud of steam. I believe that this title has some sort of pledge regarding the clergy and formalized religion. I will do further research, but I believe the key to breaking the pledge and divesting the Lord of Tales of that title would be forcing him or the agent bearing the title to harm a member of the clergy. It just so happens that I have one on my payroll. And thanks to my prior conversations with her, she believes I am a fellow religious changeling and that Oakenheart is an angel. It will be simple to clap her in irons. It's too bad. I thought she at least had a few more months left of useful life. But if I can provide Oakenheart with something like this, I can demand far more than a year of life. And with that, I can finally guarantee that Kit and his motley will be taken care of, and I can go back to living peacefully. And Gizmo looks up and says, that seems to be pretty much all that there is there in those files.
Thank you, Gizmo.
Fuck.
Oh my god, we are gonna rock his shit.
All right, Gizmo. Thank you for everything you've done. I'm gonna need copies of as much of this as you can whenever you've got a moment. I'm going to be scheduling a meeting as soon as I can with the other monarchs. This is going to be big.
Gizmo nods, grabs the cup of coffee, and immediately downs it. Look, I knew that you were into something big here, and I didn't mind helping. You guys are good people, but I didn't expect to be reading some sort of century-long grudge against the Freehold, against the Fetches. I need to sit down. Penelope offers him her hand as she leads into the couch. Please tell me no one needs anything else hacked today.
As far as I'm concerned, Gizmo, you and all your friends are done. Go home.
Emmett bends down, the clock face on his actual face, ticking away the time accurately. Gizmo, I've got the car. Penelope, do you think you can bring him around? She nods and looks back over at Kinsey. I would say your operation was a success. Do you want, you have won the right to report this to Will yourself. But if you want me to be there to commiserate what you've learned as a fellow winter courtier, I can do that.
Thank you, Penelope. I'll take you up on that.
The three of them leave. Luke Exodus is still working on the financial information in the corner. But the kind of evil smile on his face is not what you would like to see on your own account.
So so Penelope and Co have left, and all of the people supporting him are leaving, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, and he's very clearly paying attention to the pile of paperwork on the ground here, yeah?
Yeah, he seemed to be entirely absorbed in it.
Hey, you guys mind looking away for a minute?
Kenzie closes her eyes.
Kid steps outside to get some fresh air after all that.
I'm going to Brownie's Boone and put the the condominium exactly as it was when we walked in. Minus anything that's on his desk, of course.
Alrighty. Do you need to make a roll for Brownie's Boone, or should I just give you the roll for cleaning?
The roll for cleaning. I'm going to spend 3 glamour to get this done at 8 times speed. I figure that will have it done before he's done.
Let's make it dexterity plus athletics.
You got it. I know this is stupid, but honestly, I need this guy to like me. I need this man to be happy today. 1 success.
Lucas spends another half hour absorbed in the pile of paperwork all over his kitchen table. Looking back up to see his condo in perfect shape, puts a smile on his face. Well, I don't have the sort of exciting information our friend Gizmo was able to provide, but I can tell you a few things. I can tell you that there is money from Cotton International going to dozens upon dozens of small shell corporations, like this Whitney Religious Association that you mentioned. The pathing through which the money flows is incredibly complex, but I'm sure that there is illegal money laundering going on here, probably embezzlement. The only thing that would stop this from being the sort of thing that would cause a scandal of the century is that Cotton International only has 2 stockholders. But as it stands, these books have been so thoroughly cooked at both ends that you could eat them for supper.
If one of those stockholders sued the other with that information, would they be able to perhaps force control of the company?
I'm an accountant, not a lawyer, but I think that you might have a good shot at least taking temporary control during legal proceedings.
We'll have to consult. I'm sure there must be a lawyer in the freehold, but I think we have conversations to have. I hope this has been worth your time and energy tonight. I'm going to be having a meeting in the next few days with the various royals. Would I be able to ask you to show up and explain what you've seen?
Of course. You'll be able to find me at the Four Seasons after getting all this information and having all this technical things happening in my condo. I don't think I'll be feeling safe to sleep here for at least a month.
My apologies.
Your apologies have already been noted and counted.
Thank you. At this point, I feel like the best thing I can do is get out of your condo for you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, and would all of you please just make sure to keep away from windows as you do so. Call me paranoid, but I would prefer any corporate saboteurs that might be around shoot you instead of my windows.
Of course. Following his advice, we head out to the parking lot.
So
No corporate saboteurs shoot at you. The windows are perfectly fine.
So Kid stayed outside to catch his thoughts and all that stuff. And looking out into the night when everyone steps out, Kid looks over at the other two. I need you guys to be a witness for something.
You got it.
I hereby swear that I will do everything in my power to make sure that the thing going by Rupert Cotton will die. And I bind it on the weird.
When we're out of game, we'll be taking a look at the various types of oath, but there is a thing that might be helpful in this regard. I believe called a deed oath.
I was thinking I was looking at Kin page 73, Oath of Nemesis.
We can discuss that, but either way, I think these one of these would be useful to you.
Okay.
If I could type deed instead of dead.
Dead oath.
So.
So what do we do now? Do we go tell the monarch?
I need to go talk to two people who asked for a report. We're obviously going to have to do a bigger meeting, but I owe some reports. But Kit, this is the thing that's involving you. Do you need to do something?
Well, pretty soon here I'm going to need to get Delilah up to speed on this, but I'll do that when things aren't as pressing. I think my next course of action is to reach out to Agatha.
Yeah.
Do we have someone who is known for being a spy master in the court, or someone?
Will?
Madam, anybody?
Yeah, that espionage and stuff is very much a winter thing.
Okay. I mean, you're already going to be reporting to Will.
So I got set this task of tracking down what's going on with Sister Mary by my king. I open up my phone and call King Graf and ask if he is available for a meeting.
King Gustav Holder.
King Gustav Holder, yes.
Alrighty. So do you guys want to have your little things as private scenes, or do you want to go together?
Actually, I think it might be interesting if we do it as private scenes. What do you guys think?
I think that'd be fun, and none of us have gotten a real chance to talk, so let's give everybody a chance to tell their version of the story.
Okay, so let's just decide how who's going first. Everyone give me a chance die, please. We're going to do it in order. Think of it as initiative, but I'm not doing any math right now.
All right, I'm a 9.
I'm a 3.
Elliot, Kit, and Kinsey.
Kinsey.
All
I
right.
rolled.
All right. Elliot goes first, then Kit, then Kinsey.
Nope.
Kenzie then Kit, but yeah.
Kinsey, then Kit. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Sorry,
Rolled a 2.
All right.
I'm learning to count just as one you're learning to read.
Yay! A, B, 3.
All right. So Elliot arrives at King Holdu's art gallery and is ushered into the back.
Your Majesty.
Gustav gives you a nod. Here, this close beside him, you can see the unearthly green glow of the spring crown surrounding his head. It hasn't taken a physical form. Perhaps he hasn't decided on one yet, but it's clearly there. He leans in. So, Elliot, I gave you a mission. What do you have for me?
Well, I believe this all started with an accusation of regicide on Sister Mary Manson's part. Apparently, she's been making a habit of it.
He raises an eyebrow.
King Linus, I believe it was?
Surely not. Surely you're not telling me that Sister Mary was responsible for King Knox's disappearance before.
I set the document with Rupert's discussion of this on the table, knowing this was going to be an important part of the discussion. I had it printed. It's all here in black and white. She's been cooperating with a group of fetches, led by one Kit Cotton.
Your friend's fetch, I'm assuming?
Why, yes, the 126-year-old fetch-devouring fetch at the head of Cotton Enterprises.
He touches his chin and strokes it in thought. Good Lord. Explain what's going on here. He looks over the documents and starts glancing over them while looking, occasionally casting a look up at you.
I'm going to be giving an incredibly thorough version of this discussion with a few assistants as soon as we can get the royals together, but you sent me on this and I felt you deserved to know first.
So you said that this thing is eating other fetches?
Rupert Cotton does not have access to much magical power because Kit Cotton does not. Rupert is what we're going to be referring to the fetch as for the sake of sanity for a little while. Rupert has decided to secure as much power as he can and has been making trades for extra life, devouring other fetches, sacrificing a spring king, and now offering up a member of the clergy to divest the huntsman of his title in order to provide it to the up-and-coming true fae, Rattlebones. He's got his fingers almost everywhere, has a large amount of money, and is incredibly paranoid. And his death is now an absolute priority. He has created an artificial hedge gate which human beings can operate and activate without the use of any magical powers whatsoever.
The news that you bring me just keeps getting worse and worse, Elliot.
I really, really, really wish I had better ones, but I also am forced to say that even if we were able to get Sister Mary Manson back, you may wish to start considering who would be an appropriate replacement for her. But I do have some good news.
Yes, please, anything.
Madam Anybody owes me so many favors that I have run out of ways to count them. And among them is the fact that they are still alive today. I am going to cash in every last one of them to get them to publicly support you through this time of crisis.
Well, thank you for that, darling. It looks like we're going to have to start working on making the news better ourselves.
I have methods that I have gotten together for shutting down cotton. I have several ways we can go about it. I need to talk to a lawyer, and I need to set up a run on a casino. But between these, we should be able to keep him plenty busy. However, I think I'm going to have to go rescue the sister if we can. I can't afford to let them use her as they intend to. I don't want to deal with rattlebones with a title. There's too much going on.
I don't think anyone would want to.
So, my lord, my king, I am going to do everything in my power to prevent all of this from happening. But I need you and your backing as we go and talk to the powers that be of the Freehold. We're going to need everyone. I don't know how we could possibly handle this without the combined might of the Freehold. Unity is our only way through this. Because without every bit of strength we can muster, I suspect it's only going to get worse.
And I agree with you, Elliot. If we thought we had problems with the Wild Hunt and Royal Flush, this makes those problems sound huge. If Rupert Cotton is as old as you say, that means he's older than the Freehold.
We have every reason to believe that he is. I want to ask one other question.
Anything.
I have friends and contacts within Royal Flush. They have resources, and they have people that are not as well observed as we are. We have no reason to believe that they have anybody inside Royal Flush like they had Sister Mary. They might have resources that Rupert is not prepared for. Do I have your permission to go and talk to Jack about mustering what strength he can to assist us?
I don't think petty politics has a place when we're talking about survival. Do what you must.
Thank you, my lord. I will be giving a thorough presentation on everything we've learned. Mr. Exodus has financial records, and we have a number of talented computer folk who will be able to show you where we got things and what is all connected. But I wanted to make sure that you had the basics down and could prepare yourself. I'm sorry that this is the news I had to bring you.
Well, better to find out now than later. Thank you, Elliot, for everything that you've done.
By the way, your technique just keeps getting better, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. Unfortunately, that's not what I'm thinking about at the moment, but I'm sure that this anxiety will produce some great art.
Great art is born through the fires of perdition. Let us make masterpieces. I think I need to go find a bed.
All right. Kinsey.
You're muted.
I grab Penelope and head down to Will.
All right. You find Will in his office, along with a handful of winter nobles and knights. When you come in, he takes a drag on a cigar and gives you a solemn nod. Kinsey, Penelope, well, I'm glad to see you two get along. What can we do you for?
Oh, you're not going to be happy.
He raises an eyebrow. In that case, let's talk in private. He gently but firmly shoos out the nobles and knights who are in his area, and then says, all right, Morgan, talk to me. And I assume that Marrow has things to say too.
She's here to at least corroborate. She might have some independent insights. But, okay, so it's like this. We've got fetches. Like, everyone has a fetch, but you know that. You know that everyone has a fetch. So all of the fetches are ganging up, and it's like a turf war between the bad fetches and the good fetches. Well, there may be good fetches, I'm not sure. But my fetch is among them, so we're going to assume that they're good fetches, okay? So we've got the bad fetches who are homeless. No, the good fetches who are homeless, and the bad fetches who are zoophiline, some things. It starts with an X. It starts with an X, or maybe a Z, I'm not sure. And they're cannibalizing each other. Well, one of them is cannibalizing the other fetches to live longer. And they made a makeshift hedge gate. And one of them has lived 126 years. And Rattlebones is about to get a title, but he can't. Oh, the Grim Hunter can't shoot clergy. And there's a lot of tax fraud. Oh, and Sister Mary Manson. We're not going to call her sister anymore because I don't think she's going to be a noble for very much longer. Mary Manson, I'm pretty sure, is the one who sold out the last Spring King and is absolutely the one who tried to poison this Spring King but accidentally got Madam Anybody instead.
What?
It was a really long night and we set fire to a warehouse.
Ah. Well, I did tell you that we worked in the shadows.
Fires throw excellent shadows.
I can't argue with that.
But we also have like a full downloading and recording of all of the files that we hacked off of their computers. And I think Penelope has those.
And Penelope does. She brings forward a ream of papers and a thumb drive and says, here, my king, this will illuminate you further. And while she may not have put it in the most legible fashion, I can guarantee that I was there for the establishment of all this information, and that it's all true. Lindsay?
It's all true.
Right, do you have anything else to say?
So what do we do, boss?
Well, what I do first is I read through all of this so I can understand what you reported to me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. But we also wanted to all talk to everyone tomorrow morning, but I wanted to talk to you first.
That's a good call. I appreciate it. And if I'm following anything of what you said, it sounds bad, incredibly bad. And we're going to need everyone on this.
Yep, pretty much. Also, they're going specifically after monarchs, or Rattlebones is.
Will raises his eyebrow there. Hunting monarchs. I wonder why.
He's giving Rupert... I don't remember his last name, but it's not Murdoch.
Cotton.
Rupert Cotton a year of life every time he brings in a new monarch.
And would Rupert be this fetch you mentioned that's eating other fetches?
Yeah, he's performing transplant surgeries of like their leaves and twigs and stuff.
Okay. I'm not sure how that works, but that sounds bad. Penelope leans in and says, I can assure you it is bad.
That's it.
Yes, because that's not that much. Just world shaking information that can doom the entire freehold and maybe even more. Like, but that's it. That's it.
Will picks up the papers and says, I'm going to read through these, and if you've done me the kind of service that I think that you've done me from what I understand already, I'm willing to pay for some English classes for you.
I'm pretty sure that was the same terms that they used, but I might have said them wrong.
All right, anything else, Kenzie?
Nope, that's it.
All right, over to Kitch.
Well done, Kenzie. Well done.
Okay, so on the way to see Agatha, Kit stops off and gets a bouquet of flowers. So he walks in to see Agatha holding a big bouquet.
Kit arrives to find Agatha turned towards her massive wall of TVs, looking deeply into the static. At the sound of the door opening, she turns around. The portents are ill tonight. Cotton. Sir Cotton.
Yeah.
I assume you have bad news.
Yeah. Hand her the flowers. Mom always said when you give a woman bad news, you should bring them some flowers.
Your mother was a wise woman. She would have done well in the autumn court. She turns back around and towards the wall of TVs and motions at one of the CRT sets showing static with just bare hints of an image poking through. An ill omen. Secrets come to light. She turns around again. What secrets have you found, Sir Cotton? Tell me, and tell me why they bode so ill that I can see them in my scribe.
Okay. Well, keep it short. My fetch, to make things easier for conversation here, I'll call him Rupert going forward. Rupert has been functioning for 126 years, as I'm sure you know, and he's started funding research and whatnot to be able to consume other fetches to extend his life, which has been successful. Then he started making deals with Rattlebones to extend his life, and that's what happened to the previous Spring Monarch, and which the former, I'm assuming now former sister Mary had a hand in. Then let's see what else did we find out tonight. He knows how to make an artificial hedge gate. He knows that we were able to find the weakness to the
Grim Huntsman's title, which because Rupert knows that, he's going to try and exploit it to try and sell to Rattlebones to be able to get a significant more of an extension on his life rather than just the year. What else was there? God, there's so much. Tax fraud, lots of tax fraud, a lot of manipulation, and we got Cotton Enterprises' entire database, and Gizmo has deciphered it, and we wiped their server and burned down their warehouse.
So, your fetch is both incredibly hostile and the leader of a worldwide corporation.
Yes. That knows how to both consume other fetches to extend his life and to make artificial functioning hedge gates that mortals can activate.
No offense, Sir Cotton, but maybe you should have come back a few decades earlier.
If only.
Well, this sounds about as bad as I thought it would from the portents I've been seeing in the snow. Do you have any more bad news that we should be aware of?
Well, okay, out of character. Did I miss anything? Trying to remember. Sorry, a lot happened tonight.
I think all in all, you've covered everything, and just note that we're going to be doing an all-hands meeting, going over it in extra detail. Lex?
Should probably also let her know that they're specifically going after monarchs.
Yeah. And the trading in the monarch for a year of life for Rupert, that's an ongoing deal whenever Rupert is able to get their hands on one.
So likely he's keeping an eye out.
So there's a bounty on your head.
Thank you, Sir Cotton. This is grim indeed.
But the good news is we know the weakness of one of the huntsmen now. Clergy, apparently. He can't hurt clergy.
Would that we had more in our ranks.
Well, from what I understand these days, you take a test online and become ordained.
She scratches at her chin and says, "I am going to have to speak with our nobles and put our knowledge to bear to see if that would be an effective countermeasure."
Yeah. Other good news. There were no casualties on our side. There were no injuries on our side. We got in, grabbed all the data, and got out. As soon as we saw Rattlebones on the hedge side with an army of hedge beasts, we dipped.
I see that your time with Sir Crinoline has paid off. You are becoming wiser by the moment, Sir Cotton.
It was an untenable fight. Anybody could have seen it.
A month ago, I'm not sure I could say that I would think you would have seen it.
A month ago, my back was against the wall. didn't have a choice. Now we're in a position where we're able to pick our battles.
We will not speak of it further at this point, Sir Cotton. There is no need to dredge back up the past, but my point is made that you become wiser and wiser as time goes by. Take the compliment and stop being so defensive.
All right. The other reason why I'm here is because we do want to have an all hands meeting tomorrow.
That sounds like the only sensible thing to do, given what you've told me. I will make sure to put my authority behind your request.
If basically what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking that our talents as a court would be best utilized in assisting the Winter Court. But that is something that we can hash out in detail when everyone's apprised of the situation.
That's fair enough. Is there anything else that you have for me tonight, Sir Cotton?
No, just try to get some sleep. We're gonna need it.
I agree. All right. And with that scene ended, considering that tonight was the second part of a two-parter because we didn't have time to finish it out, I don't have anything else for tonight. Do you have anything you want to do while we're here? Or shall I close the curtains?
May I make a general gesture at, I've told this story 3 times in a row now. I went and gave a report to Jack about what happened.
Yeah, no need to get back into there. Kenzie?
And
I'd like to tell Leo that his fetch is dead, but is also partially Kit's fetch.
basically bring him up to speed.
All right. I don't believe we really need to go through that scene again since we've just had our Rashomon moment.
By the way, way to go, Kenzie. That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
That being said, let's call it early tonight. Let's go over our aspirations. Who wants to go first?
I will.
All right.
All right, I think I took a step towards kicking the cotton out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I took a step towards finding my fetch.
Yes.
We made the wise decision and escaped with our lives.
Yes.
I think I took a step towards making Sister Mary regret everything.
One way or another.
And we did not score any hits on Rattlebones.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Okay, so definitely got a step towards stopping the rattling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I step and clear finding a solution for the huntsman?
That makes sense to me.
Right. Then, okay, hold on, let me, notepad.
Congratulations on your 11 beats from doing that.
Yeah. Then lean on the scales. Well, I mean, we definitely have a bit of an advantage now that to put things in our advantage. We have information to be able to put things in our advantage between the financial records of fraud and also just what they've been knowing, what they've been doing, and how. I would say gives us a bit more of an edge, and then a beat or a step towards feeding the people because I've eliminated some of the competition with burning down a grocery.
Yeah, sure.
And then last aspiration is eat the rich. Once again, by getting hold of all the information and all the shady stuff that they've been doing with their money, I think that takes a step towards that. Yeah.
I'll allow that.
Okay.
All right.
That's-
That leaves me, I think. Get my people out of this alive. Yep. Everyone got out clean. Burn some wood. I'm pretty sure there was some wood in there somewhere.
Fair enough.
Remember, kids, word your stuff vaguely. Pass the exam for a bar. I have just gotten the entirety of the freehold to owe me a favor at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to tug on something to get some money soon.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Restore the rest of Mimsatch. All of this stuff has been through getting icons off of Rattlebones, and we have just gotten the best line in on stuff and resources connected to Rattlebones. I think that's a reasonable step.
I would agree.
And pick out the cotton. I have this man's I have doxed this man tonight.
Extremely elaborately.
I think I got that one as well.
I'll allow for that.
And with that, that's 5 beats for me.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for showing up today. Sorry we're ending a little early, but since this was more or less one very long session between now and last time, it's just a necessity. Thank you again for showing up. We're always happy when you guys are here. Thank you for watching. And just to reiterate, as I mentioned earlier, Trinity Continuum, I guess, is now on BackerKit. You can find a link to that on the chat. Onyx Path game night will be the 28th. You can find more details on the Onyx Path Discord. So, thanks again for coming out tonight, and I hope everyone has a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.